Alright, going to be a quick video here because it's late, but I really want to get this one done. So I'm going to try to avoid as much rambling as possible and just keep to the point with the information here. This is a video about what I perceive to be ideal tongue posture, and how to hold it, and how to deal with the fact that for most of us, our jaws are too narrow to be able to hold our tongue in an ideal way. The goal is to be able to get as much of the tongue as we possibly can, from front to back and side to side, up and against the roof of the mouth, so that we can apply enough force to expand the top jawbone, the maxilla, over however long it takes, so that we can gradually fit more and more and keep improving our oral posture, so that one day we've got ideal facial development for whether you're into the health stuff, the improvements to our bodies and our function that it'll give, or whether you're into looking better. Both are fine goals to have, perfectly admirable ones to shoot for. But the way to go about that, as best as I'm aware, is make the tongue as compact as possible, so that you can fit as much of it up there, as much of the mass applying force to the roof of your mouth as possible. Shove it up there so that it's not touching the teeth, so that it's above the teeth, making contact with the roof of the mouth from front to back, side to side, pushing forwards and outwards so that you feel the pressure in the cheekbones, and with enough of it up at the back so that you feel your airway blocked off slightly when you're breathing. Not so much that you can't breathe and you can't function day to day, but enough that you can feel the pressure there and hope to expand over time. So, again, to break that down, the way to go about doing it is make your tongue nice and tight and compact, not broad like this. You want it to be tighter and smaller. That kind of idea. You get the point. It's not a brilliant demo, but whatever. So do that. Then you want to shove it up there above the level of your teeth. You don't want to be making contact with the teeth. Some of us, we won't have enough space to be able to avoid it. That's fine. Do your best to avoid as much contact as possible. Try to minimize it. Try to get your tongue applying the force to the roof of your mouth, not your teeth. That's about all you can do. You can improve it over time, so just do your best. So again, tongue nice and tight and compact. Squeeze it up there. You want to feel it, a pressure like you're inflating a balloon against the roof of your mouth, so that you feel it pushing upwards and outwards, forwards, all directions. You should really, if you're doing it well, you'll feel the pressure here in your cheekbones, in your upper jaw. You will feel it pushing. And you only want to do it with a light enough pressure that you can hope to maintain that posture long term. This isn't an exercise in trying to force your tongue up as hard as you possibly can, because that sort of thing will only tire it out. It can be a good exercise to build strength, don't get me wrong, but that will tire it out. It will make it so that you can only hold good posture infrequently. And to get real results with growing your jawbones, you need to hold constant light pressure. It needs to become a habit. And the only way to do that is to practice holding it there for long periods of time. So again, make the tongue compact, shove it up there so that you can feel the pressure, go light enough that you can hope to hold it there for hours, days at a time. And then the fourth point with it is you want to get enough of the back part of the tongue up, because you want as much of the mass of the tongue as possible up and applying force to as much of the jaw as you can fit. And that includes the back part of the tongue. And the problem with that is that when the back part of the tongue goes up, if your jaws are too narrow, like most of us are, most of us suffer that problem, then it will close off the airway. Because as the tongue goes up, it closes off the back part of the soft palate, it comes up like that, and closes off. It's a terrible demo, forgive me for it, but it closes off the airway. Your goal is to get it so that you feel your airway slightly closed off, not so much that you can't function in your day-to-day life. You don't want to have to think about it too much, but you do want as much of your tongue raised up as possible so that you feel that pressure in your airway, so that you know your tongue is there against the back part of the roof of your mouth. It's important, otherwise you're not going to get even development of your maxilla. You'll only get so much. And considering that the back part of the tongue is where most of the real mass is, most of the real force you can hope to apply against the roof of the mouth is, it's important to get that bit working properly if you want ideal results with expanding your jaws. So again, summary of it is make the tongue nice and compact, nice and tight, not broad, tighter. And again, forgive me for the demos. Shove it up there, point number 2, on the roof of the mouth, squeeze it in there, feel it inflating like a balloon. That's the mental image I use when I'm trying to do it, so that you feel the pressure in all directions. Get the back part of the tongue up, and the easiest way to know if you're doing that is look at the area under your chin. And if it's down like this, you want to try to raise it up, so from down to up. That's the tongue raising up. You can see how it affects the front of the neck. That's literally the tongue moving up and down. So aim to get that as high as you can while still being able to breathe. Try to feel it contained within the dome-like part of the roof of the mouth. Don't let your tongue touch your teeth if you can help it. And feel that pressure for as long as possible, for as long as you can in your day. And the more you do that, the more of a habit it will become. The more of a habit it becomes, the more likely you are to do it when you're asleep. And over a few years, however long it takes, you will expand your jaws. It will happen. So I hope that explains it for you. Just, you've got to do the best you can with what you've got. The narrower your jaws are to begin with, the harder it's going to be, the harder you'll have to work, but it is possible to do. So again, just try to squeeze as much of your tongue up as you can while still being able to function, and keep refining it as you expand and improve. So best of luck to you. Feel free to talk to me down in the comments below. I'm always happy to respond to questions about this. You know, it's a big passion of mine, this subject, and I want other people to improve as well, because I definitely am, to whatever degree. So again, best of luck, see you in the next video. Take care.